Hi everyone, I'm here with Lisa, and she has just walked the Camino.
Yeah.
She's in Santiago. We'll talk about your Camino, but first, Lisa is also the one responsible for holding the Forum Zoom call every Tuesday at 6 o'clock Santiago time. So first of all, thank you for doing that, because I started that Zoom call during the pandemic.
Early in the pandemic.
Yeah.
And you hosted for about a year. And then I think you were just so busy with,
I got busy because 6 in the afternoon is where I pick up my son from school. And
Yeah.
so after the pandemic, when things got busy, then I said, well, I can't do it anymore.
So you asked me if I would host.
Yeah.
And I'd been attending pretty regularly and really enjoyed the experience. So I said, yes, I'd love to do that.
Yeah. And you've been doing it for several years now.
Since early 2021. So a long time.
So if you don't know what this is, what is this Forum Zoom?
Yeah, so it's just a regular Zoom. It's we keep it to 6 o'clock Santiago time because that's the time that you originally set it,
Which is 9 o'clock West Coast U.S.
And so I'm in California, so that worked out. I get up in the morning, I grab my coffee, and I sit down with the Zoom, and there are people that come from all over North America, Central America, and Europe. And it's a lot of people who attend almost every week if they can. We've almost people almost become like a Camino family.
Yeah.
We all recognize each other. We have arranged to get together when we happen to be in the same cities. There's been a number of times when people have met up in Santiago after walking Caminos. And in fact, my husband and I just finished the Camino Portugues, and we walked in on Sunday, and Tom from Athens, who's one of our regulars, was here, and we had dinner together. And for the first time, we've known each other now for 4 years on Zoom.
Yeah.
And for the first time, we got to meet in person. So that is, it really does feel like this virtual Camino family that we've created. The people that come regularly have all people who have walked Caminos, and some of them actually who have been coming quite regularly, who are people who are planning their first Caminos. And as a group, what we try and do is share information with each other, especially if you're someone who's done, say, the Frances, but you want to know what the Norte is like. Or in my case, I'd done the Portuguese, the Central and the Frances, but I had never done the coastal route. So I got some really good tips on that route. Because, of course, things not only are the different Caminos different, but they can change from year to year too. So
Sure.
These are all pretty active people on the forum, and also in walking Caminos and sharing information. So it really is a wonderful place to get updated. But also we often get people come who just kind of discover us and said, oh, I saw there was this Zoom and I wanted to see what it was about, and I thought maybe you could answer some questions. And the group just loves that because it's, we're like, oh boy, what are your questions? And we all of course confuse them terribly because we all have different opinions, but that's, part of the fun.
Exactly. There's never very few times one correct answer to any questions. It's, some people do one way, some people do the other way, and you just have to listen to all of them and figure out which one's good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess the Camino Forum Zoom call could be one way of learning and asking questions. Of course, if some people like to write the question up on the forum and ask on the forum, but if you want more of a face-to-face situation,
and we're also
try the Zoom.
We're very respectful of each other's opinions, and our the whole push. I think any of us who have done a number of Caminos and have been asked to sort of consult with people and say, oh, can you help me figure out, how to do this? What we've realized is that the best thing to do is to just help people understand the different options. We're not there to say, you got to wear this kind of socks, or you have to, have hiking poles, or you shouldn't have hiking poles. Everybody has to understand what the options are. And that's actually really, I think what we're really good at is helping people to understand that there are some options they didn't like. They might say, hey, I didn't know you could ship your pack. That's an option. I didn't know that. So we give them the option without necessarily the judgment on what they should or shouldn't do. And that's a valuable resource, I think, for
I think
people.
that's good. Yeah. So Tuesdays at 6, you'll find the link. I'll put the link below in the video to the section of the Camino Forum where you post every week a link to the Zoom call.
I post it. There's a section that says Camino Forum Zooms, and it's only
available to members. So you have to sign up to the forum to be able to see the content of that section. And the reason is I don't want Google to index this and people to come onto the Zoom from other places. You would have to be on the forum to begin with to know that it's there. So the idea is that if you click the link below in the video, you'll see that if you're not logged into the forum, it will ask you to log in before you can actually see the list of Zooms.
And I mostly post every week the link to kind of bring it up so that people will see it. It is the same link every week, so that's a no. You tell people that so people just bookmark it and use it. And as Ivar said, it's 6:00 Santiago time, so whatever time that is where you are.
Exactly.
There's usually a little bit of a juggle when Spain, we go like the U.S. goes on daylight savings and Spain doesn't for 2 weeks. But I'll always post special time, whatever. But it's always 6:00 Santiago time.
Exactly.
I just keep it to that.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
Figure that out.
So try it out.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
we're nice people. We enjoy each other's company. We do have some in-jokes, but we'll explain them to you.
So today is a Wednesday. We record this on a Wednesday. So yesterday you were on the Zoom. I couldn't make it yesterday. I'm trying to make it next Tuesday. But next Tuesday you're also going to be in Santiago as well for the Zoom.
Yeah,
are you?
I'll still be here.
Okay.
We after our Camino, we decided to stay this time for a couple of weeks. We got an Airbnb apartment, just to kind of hang out and just, I don't know, we just wanted to feel like we weren't rushing anywhere after we spent the last month traveling, either walking the Camino or visiting our older kid in New York, or we spent a week down in southern Spain being tourists in Sevilla and Cordoba and Granada. So we just kind of wanted to chill. So this is a great place to do it.
That's right. So you decided to go Airbnb. Was it difficult to find the place?
No.
For those wondering about if you wanted to stay.
Yeah. Well, no. It's like most people look for. I've often there's a small hostel that I've stayed in with small rooms, and that I really like on Rua Villard. But the price now is about €100 a night. It's gone up since I was there last 6 years ago, and. But that's what the Airbnb room is costing us. So we have an extra bedroom. In fact, I just found out today that one of my Camino buddies, Zoom buddies, is likely to be showing up and staying with us in the next day or two. So that's
nice.
That's nice. But we have a kitchen, and so maybe it's nice. We actually the food left over from lunch, and we can buy an empanada somewhere. And if we don't feel like going out, we can stay in. So it's just a different way of, being in a place and kind of nice.
Yeah, that's good. Very good. So Zoom, Tuesday at 6, come visit. And once in a while, it's been a while since I've been on there now, but once in a while I try to get on there. The thing is that I have my son has after school activities on Tuesdays, so it's always difficult for me. But anyway,
we'll get you on there.
I'll try and be on there. Yes. So did you want to talk a little bit about your Camino?
Yeah, just I'm not going to give details about what the Portugues is like, because there's so much information on that on the forum, and it's absolutely beautiful. Especially if you're someone who doesn't get to be near the ocean very much, that's not a problem for us. We live very close to the ocean in California, but. It is absolutely gorgeous. Actually, it reminded me a lot of the California coastline and Northern California's coastline. So it's really beautiful.
It's relatively flat, isn't it?
It's relative. Yeah. If you stay right on the coast, there are, and this is something I learned from my Zoom buddies, that there's the coastal official coastal route, which is actually inland somewhat, and it does go in hills. And then there's the route that's called the Senda Litoral, which means coastal route or coastal road. And it is not unofficial. You can you can find tracks to follow, but you don't really need them because, and it's not really marked. But as my buddy said, just keep the ocean on your left.
That's right.
And you won't get lost. And that is exactly how you do it. You don't really need the yellow arrows. And they have these fabulous boardwalks that go for days and days on end. And you're walking on the sand, but on the boardwalk, so not in the sand. And it's ocean and fabulous seafood and some really nice small hotels and albergues that are just lovely. And then after a few days, about 5 or 6 days, we use the official coastal route. And we did stay all the way up along the coast through Vigo, and then it takes you out at Redondela and the Central. So we all the way.
Anything different about walking in Portugal and walking in Spain? Do you feel like it's the same experience?
No, other than the fact that I only speak a little Spanish and absolutely no Portuguese. So,
but you could get by with English in Portugal.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, one of the nice things about Portugal that I found this time and last time is if someone has a second language, it's generally either English or French. And I do speak some French. So I could talk to people more easily than I can in Spain, ironically. So... but it's really, it's the food is great. I mean, everything, it's lovely. I really recommend walking one of the Portuguese, routes. For me this time, this was my third Camino. And there were some differences though, which was that, my commitment to myself on my other Caminos has been that I walk every step. And I did that on the Frances and the Central Portugues there's one little exception, but, that I carry my pack as much as I possibly can. And what happened this time was I had a bad, recurrence of plantar fasciitis. And some of you may know what that is. It's just basically your tendons, they get all, they swell up. And it's inflamed, and it really, really hurts to walk. And there are lots of things you can do. You can ice it, you can stretch it, you can roll a ball. I mean, I had about 400 different people giving me advice on how to fix it. You take ibuprofen and all that. But the bottom line is it still hurts. And the only way to make it stop hurting is to stop walking for a significant period of time. So I got permission from my doctor, who is our youngest son, to keep walking as long as I stop carrying weight, because that makes a huge difference. You know, even just a 15-pound pack, which is what I had, 7+ kilos for those of you here. You know, that makes a difference. And so I had to come to terms with first starting to ship my pack and shipping it every day, basically. And that was not, in my head, that wasn't what I, as a
you felt
pilgrim,
bad about it.
Did. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think you should feel bad about it. I don't know. If you need to, do it. I mean, because if you didn't do it, you had to stop.
Well, that's it. Yeah. And so there was that, and then after continuing to walk in pain, but sort of tolerable pain, for quite a few days, the pain got much worse, and I realized I needed to take some days off. So my husband walked ahead, and I took 2.5 days off, and did a taxi. And again, that wasn't in my picture of what a Camino was, but I thought it's either this or I just take a train to Santiago right now and give up. And I wasn't, I didn't see how that would help. So I did that, and it helped. It helped my foot a lot. I have to say parenthetically that it was a terrible storm on the coast with like hurricane force winds and rain like crazy. Happened to coincide with those 2 days. It was just by chance. I swear to you, I did not plan that.
No.
But it was a kind of a nice, well, I guess I don't have to walk in the rain.
Excellent.
But you know, it was just that I've always said to people, you know, and you've all heard this, everybody has their own Camino.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, this is my Camino right now. But yet I really had to go through this process of not just kind of feeling bad and, oh, I'm doing this, oh, well, but actually sort of embracing it and saying, this is what the Camino is giving me. This is my, you know, it's giving me what I need right now. What I need is to sort of learn how to accept that change of focus that, you know, we all have these focus on how we want to do something. And I'm just going to take it every day. I'm just going to walk and I'm going to do this, what I can every day, even if what I can do is this much instead of this much. And, you know, and I walked and I finished and I do feel really good. I mean, I feel a little sad that it wasn't the way I wanted it still, but I feel good that I kept going. Yeah. I kept walking and I made it. You know, I didn't hopefully cause any permanent damage to my
Are you feet
foot.
Better? Are you feet better now?
It hurts, but it's not getting. It's kind of down at a lower level because of course I've stopped walking a couple. I mean, around town, but But yeah, it was just a really good example for me of how, you know, you almost adapt your expectation to what you're getting versus trying to, you know, get whatever your expectation is. Does that?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Now, practically, for those sitting at home thinking, oh, if that happens to me, was it difficult to send stuff ahead? How did you organize that?
No. It's really easy.
Yeah.
You know, there are a couple of ways. There are a number of organizations of companies that will do this. If you know where you're staying for a specific, like the next, you're walking, you know, we've got everything booked the next 10 days, you can make a contract with them and they'll print it out and they'll take from there to there every day. They'll just, you know, move it. That saves you a little money, maybe €1 or 2 every day. What I did though was each day, because I didn't know, am I going to be able to carry my pack tomorrow? You know, how far are we going to go? I actually did book ahead 3 or 4 days at least. So, because everything is getting busier, even the coastal route. But I would decide, you just have to either call or WhatsApp, actually, is you texting on WhatsApp by 6 o'clock, and you say, you know, I on a bag for tomorrow from here to here, and they say great, and then they send you a link and you pay them, and it was €8. This was Top Santiago is the company. There's another company called Tuitrons, and I think they wanted €10 a day. So that was actually a fair bit more.
Yeah.
And for the most part, Top Santiago is very responsible, and I walk in and there would be my pack. So,
good.
You know, they did a pretty good job of that. So that's easy to do, and you can decide on a day-by-day basis. My husband did. He had it shipped a few times. He was having back problems, so
sure.
It's definitely an option.
Good. Did you feel it was busy on the Portuguese now?
The coastal, especially the Senda Litoral, is a nice level of busy. You see, you know, you see pilgrims. The hostels are close to full, if not full. But we didn't. Again, I booked ahead some.
So you walked in early May, right?
Today's
May 15th.
We started walking April 26th from Porto.
Okay.
And it took us 17 days. But we were averaging sort of 15, 16 kilometers a day. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. So, but average.
Good.
So yeah, it's.
Because I tell you,
once we got to and a lot of people, they go up the coast and then they head to the central Portugues, and so it actually got a little quieter as we headed north. But once we hit Redondela, there were like 5 times as many people at least. I mean, the central is just packed.
That's the new Saria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. And I would highly recommend, unless you're really doing off season, that you book as much as you can ahead on this, especially in the central Portuguese.
After Redondela, I guess. Especially, right?
Especially. But, but as I said, people are coming in from, there's several places you can come in at Valença or Tui. You can come in. There's different places you can come in, or even before that, where there are trails that kind of peel off and go to the central. So I think, I don't know at what point on the central these days it starts getting crazy.
Yeah. As with any other Camino as well, there are waves of pilgrims coming, especially if there's a holiday or a long weekend or something. It's a lot of people start the same day, and it becomes busy. If you hang back a day or go forward a day, it's less busy. I actually talked to someone doing the Camino Inglés a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and they were saying that the Camino Inglés at that time was very busy. They couldn't find. And then I talked to someone today, and they were saying, no, it was fine. It was very few people.
Yeah.
There
were, I can't, because I did book ahead. I don't like walking out in the morning not knowing I have a place for that night. That makes me too nervous. But as we were walking into these towns, a lot of times we saw, full signs, complete signs on the doors of the places. And but we mixed up. Sometimes we stayed in albergues and with shared rooms and with shared rooms. Sometimes we stayed in a private room in an albergue. Sometimes we stayed in small hotels. We really kind of mixed it up.
That's nice.
When there's two people, it's kind of a different, because you're already paying maybe 40 euros for 2 beds in the hostels. You maybe if you pay 50, you get a hotel room.
That's
so
right.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good. Anything else from your walk that you feel like you want to share? Like someone you met or some story or something?
Well, we met, we met some really interesting, I really like to say young people. My sons are in their early 30s. And these were young people who were in their 20s to early 30s, a lot of them walking on their own. And it's always really inspiring to me to see, and to talk to them about what they're going through. We met people from Ukraine and from who are living in other countries right now, from Belarus, from Russia, from Israel, from all places that we don't have much direct personal contact with, and just talking to them and hearing their stories is always wonderfully inspiring. And I think that's the thing that's, and I'm sure everybody that you've talked to says this, that, the Camino is just a very unique experience where you connect with people. It's just, you don't connect with people. It isn't forced. You naturally start talking and sharing. And
had someone in today, walked the Camino Portuguese, walked into Santiago yesterday, and he said only yesterday, he talked to people from 32 countries in one day. Yeah. Which is like, wow.
I mean, where else can you do that?
No. And really talked because, as you know, when you're walking, all of you to Santiago, you have something in common. And it's a natural thing to start talking.
Plus, a lot of times people are walking because they have some kind of personal situation that they're trying to work through. And I think you find pretty much all of human experience you actually meet on the Camino. Older people who have lost a spouse of many years or a child, the tragedy of that, or younger people who, just finished university and realized they didn't actually want to do the thing they'd studied to do, or just so many different aspects of human existence. And the really cool thing is they share it with you, and you can share with them. And it's just, it's like nowhere else. So it's
that's true. That's
and
good.
Coming back and doing it again always reminds me
again and again. I have people coming in, they're like, I'm done, I've done it 3 times, and then the next year they're back again.
You see them again.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sitting down and talking to me about this and the Camino Forum Zooms.
Of course.
So
I hope to see some of you
that's right.
join us.
I'll put a link below. If
on
you
our
click
Zoom.
it and you're not logged in, you will be asked to log in. So create an account if you don't have one, and then just log in. It'll give you a list of the dates and the link and the time for each meetup. And then you just click the link, the Zoom application opens up, and you'll meet all these people.
Okay.
And you can ask questions to Lisa and hopefully pick up some tips. Good. Thank you, Lisa.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.